Am I the a-hole for telling my therapist about my I 17 female was segregated from ages 8 to 14 by a close family friend. When I told my parents at 14, I was reassured something would be done about it, and I wouldn't ever have to see him again. It's been 3 years, and I still see him almost daily, with my parents even allowing him to pick me up from school. Due to these events, I suffer with mental health issues and was referred to a therapist by my school counselor. At first, I was too scared to mention the actual problem, but after a couple of sessions, I eventually brought it up, as I genuinely could not keep going with this. Hearing that the man that assaulted me was still a regular in my household and would more often than not be left alone in a room with me. Phone calls were made and I was taken from my parents' house after they refused to cut contact with my abuser. I'm not in care or anything, simply living with relatives a couple of miles away and doing schoolwork online. Last week, while at a friend's place, I was waiting for my nan to pick me up when instead my mom showed up and forced me into the car. She scolded me, telling me to stop bringing up my as it happened years ago, and I should just get over it. I told her it was my abuse, and therefore I could tell whoever I wanted, which, due to my therapist having to make those calls, included my school, my grandparents, and CPS. I then asked to be dropped back to my nan's, only to be told no and that I was coming back home. I told her if she didn't take me back to nan's, I would call the police and tell them she had taken me without consent. She eventually dropped me back after an hour of yelling and keeping me locked in the car. At nan's, she told me I have to get over myself eventually and come home as my dad and brothers missed me, and she even mentioned my abuser, saying he had been asking where I had gone. I told her to go F herself and got out of the car. I haven't spoken to any of them since, only texting my brothers and telling them I wasn't coming home. They don't know about anything. But now I feel slightly guilty because my brothers are suffering all because I couldn't hold myself together. Am I the a-hole?